All right, guys. So today I want to do a story time. Let me tell you about the very first time I really watched John Carpenter's Halloween. You know, I'm sure growing up I probably saw glimpses of it here and there. One of the first Halloween true memories I have was Halloween H2O, where Laurie cuts Michael's head off. Maybe I'll save that story for another time. But the essential horror classic, Halloween. What was the first time I watched it? It was the really first time I watched it. Well, it's kind of a funny story. So, like you, I probably knew about the character and everything before I ever saw the movie. So, Michael Myers was always this thing in my life. I knew Michael Myers. It was more synonymous with my life than the actual title for the movie, Halloween, in a sense. So, let's go to the mid 2000s. Michael Myers is coming back. Rob Zombie's Halloween is coming out. I go see it in theaters. Now, luckily, the theater that I was at the time, they weren't too uppity about 15, 16-year-old kids going to see an R-rated movie at the theater. I'm sure times are a lot different now. You probably get carded for everything. But back then, my theater didn't care. It was a new theater. They wanted to make money, so they weren't going to turn away kids to go see R-rated movies. So I see Rob Zombie's Halloween in the theater. That could have been my first genuine Halloween movie, top to bottom. Had a great time. And 6-7 months later, my brother. The funny thing is, guys, if you listen to the You Need a Horror podcast, you've probably heard me talk about how my brother was the one that really got me to watch some big horror classic movies for the first time, and I kind of took the ball and ran with it. Probably about 5 or 6 months goes by, and we get an FYE in my hometown. This FYE did not last long at all. I don't want to say where I live on the internet, but just know you would never think they'd put an FYE here. That should tell you. I don't have a mall where I live. I don't have a Best Buy in my hometown, so they put an FYE here. Pretty wild, right? Well, about 5 or 6 months after Rob Zombie's Halloween comes out, this FYE is in town, and my brother comes up to me one day. He goes, "Christian, let's get the original Halloween. Let's go buy the DVD of Halloween and watch the classic one." And I'm like, "Okay, cool. When is that from?" I don't know. It's like from the 60s or 70s or something, or 80s, one of them. I just know it's a classic. And I'm like, "Okay." So and I have this DVD with the slip till this day from Anchor Bay. It's on the shelf. We go to FYA. My mom takes us. My brother is 16 or 17 at the time, or probably 16 and I'm 15 or mid-teens. I either had my permit or license, or I'm sure he had his license, but regardless, my mom takes us to FYA. We go start looking at the movies, and sure enough, my brother finds Halloween. He grabs it, and I'll never forget, it was like pulling, the steak out of the rock. Like, when you become a hero, he finds it. I see him pick it up, and here's this black DVD case, and it's got Halloween. There's this pumpkin with the knife, and I remember saying to myself, that's cool. That's Halloween, awesome. My mom comes up to us, and she's looking around at CDs and stuff. Yeah, there was a time where people still bought CDs. And we go up to the counter, and we're like, "Hey, this is what we want." My mom's like, "You guys want the Rob Zombie one, right?" And my brother's like, "No. And my mom's just like, doesn't want to hear it. She thinks he's confused. She thinks he doesn't know what he's wanting or whatever. And she goes, "That's not the Rob Zombie one. He says that's not the Rob Zombie one." My mom's asking somebody, "Hey, is that the Rob Zombie Halloween movie?" And they see my brother holding the original. And the guy's like, "No, that's not the Rob Zombie one." And my mom is like, Christian, that's not Rob Zombie. That's not Rob Zombie. Y'all like Rob Zombie." My brother's like, "Stop it. I don't want the Rob Zombie one. I want the original one." So I think the Rob Zombie DVD had just come out too, so there were like rows of it. I think my mom was even like, "Hey, they got it right here." They had a row of them on DVD. And to put it in context, like if you're a younger viewer, like if you were born around 2000 or 1998 or something, I was born in 92. So at this time, I was in my, I was becoming a man at this time. I'm in my mid to late teens. And, you got to understand, during this time, the mid 2000s was Rob Zombie mania. He was so pop culture. He had come off of 2 amazingly successful albums. His debut, Hellbilly Deluxe, which came out in the late 90s, catapulted him. The Sinister Urge brought him even bigger. He had songs for wrestlers. Edge used one of the songs from the album. He comes out with House of 1,000 Corpses, super hit. Follows up with The Rejects, super duper hit. Rob Zombie Mania. Rob Zombie's touring with Alice Cooper at the time. He's doing stuff with Manson for the first time before they fought. I mean, he is mega huge. So I don't blame my mom for thinking we're confused or whatever, but my brother was like, I want the original Halloween. So I just want you to understand the context of the time. Rob Zombie was massive. And granted, right there during this time, he's doing Halloween. So finally, my brother's like, Mom, stop it. I want the original. I don't want the Rob Zombies one. I want to show my brother the original. We want to watch the original. This is the one we want. The guy at the counter, I remember this too. The guy at the counter is like, this is probably the greatest horror movie ever made. And my mom's like, okay, so if you sure you don't want the Rob Zombie one, Trey? So we get the movie. My brother's like, you look at it, Christian, we'll look at it. I remember grabbing that DVD, and I'm like, wow, this looks like, you could tell, like, this is something, you know, and it's got the slipcase, it's got the pumpkin on it. We get it home. The beauty was when we started watching Halloween, it was dusk outside. It wasn't like nighttime, but like it also wasn't dark yet. And so we start the movie. Everybody's left the house. My parents went somewhere, I don't remember, but it was me and Trey in the house, and we're just like, let's watch this. Cranked the sound system. My dad still has it too. It's like one of those big sound systems, not a sound bar. It's got the amplifier, the speakers in the roof. I mean, he had surround sound, still does. That theme hit, I remember being like, holy shit. Like when I heard that Halloween, because you hear the Halloween theme growing up, but when you hear the Halloween theme where you're getting engulfed in that theme, it was a life-changing thing. I was like, holy crap, like this is the real deal. And I don't remember being terrified by the movie. Granted, I had just come out of Rob Zombie's Halloween a few months before this, so like that movie was way more intense to me in my mind at that time than this original classic. But that feeling of hearing that theme, hearing it for the first time, where you're being engulfed in it as opposed to hearing it at parties or this or that, was a life-changing experience. I'll never forget it. And the beauty of watching it that first time with my brother was, you know, when the shit started hitting the fan, so to speak, during the movie where Michael's coming, he's attacking, the nighttime had hit. And I'll never forget the movie ending and that theme hitting after Loomis shoots him and you don't see him, and that theme hitting again. We sat there and listened to the credits roll and listened to that theme again, engulf the house. The music's going outside of the house. I mean, the music is permeating everything. So my first time watching Halloween was this trippy trip to FYE, convincing my mom we didn't want the Rob Zombies Halloween on DVD, and the music engulfing that house beautifully late at night as the movie ended at nighttime, and being so taken aback by the music. The music scared me. The movie didn't scare me. I loved the movie. I loved everything about the movie, but the music has always been what's, you know, my main thing about that movie. I love the music more than the mask. I love the music. I love the theme. I love the music more than the character. I love the music more than Laurie Strode. All of it. The music has always been my number one. Always been my number one with Halloween. You know, so that's the thing I've taken away since day one when I truly watched that film for the first time, and it's probably what I'll always take away the most from it. Yes, the mask, the locations, that, John Carpenter, the director, awesome. That score will always be my number one thing. I'll always, when I think about memories with the film, when I think Halloween, that theme, always the music. So that's my story of seeing Halloween for the first time. I would love to know, we can do this with other movies if I have really cool stories. I considered this a fun story. You guys let me know. If you want more things like this on the channel, I'd be so glad to do it. What is your story with Halloween? What was the first time you saw it? Or what was a really funny story about the first time you saw one of these classic horror films you love, or any horror film? Please let me know down below in the comment section. And if you enjoyed this, let me know. Give this video a thumbs up, and I'd be more than happy to do more story times. they're easy videos to do, and it's fun. So it breaks up the monotony of some of the other stuff I do on my channel. So let me know, guys. Thank you for watching this video, and I anticipate your stories down below. Take care.